Hello and welcome to another Etch Play video. Today we're going to play Mass Effect 2, which was my choice, and I'm talking to Dean Dowsett, who is an SEO expert here at Etch. I've always been a fan of Dean's no-nonsense approach to SEO and just the way he can tell it like it is, so I'm really happy to have him on the show. Hi Dean, thanks for coming on.
Hi, how you doing?
Not too bad. We're going to be playing Mass Effect 2. Usually we'd let the guest pick the game because they have to play it. But because of this new strange world we live in, we're both in our own houses, and I'm going to play the game instead. So I've chosen Mass Effect 2. Have you played Mass Effect 2? Have you heard of it?
I've not played it. I've heard of the franchise.
Yeah.
Judging by graphics so far, it looks quite old. So,
yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. It actually came out in 2010, which is crazy.
Okay,
it's like 10 years old. But it's an action game set in a vast sci-fi universe full of humans and aliens, and there's kind of politics involved, like the humans want to be the dominant species in the galaxy, or some of them do. The aliens have been there longer. There's all sorts of intrigue like that, but we'll be focusing mainly on just shooting today, I think. I'm going to play from the start. In fact, let's get a look at the game, which hopefully everyone can now see. And yeah, we'll start a brand new game, and I'll try and talk you through it as much as I can. I'm going to play as a man.
Awesome. So far, I'm really impressed with Discord.
Yeah, really we're recording this over Discord, so hopefully good latency. I think if we mention Discord, they'll give us some free stuff.
Discord.
So, maybe for anyone who has been living under a rock since the internet was invented, are you able to, I guess, articulate what SEO is to somebody who maybe isn't familiar with SEO?
Yeah, sure. So SEO, in its broadest sense, is search engine optimization. So in a nutshell, we try and get websites ranking highly on Google for keywords. So if someone's searching a search query on Google, we try and get websites ranking high for those search queries. That's the nutshell approach for it.
So at the start of the game here, obviously in the first Mass Effect, you were a decorated soldier who saved the galaxy,
the Citadel, but leaving the Council to die.
And everyone's really a big fan of you.
Humanity's place in the galaxy is stronger than ever, and still it's not enough.
Interesting.
Humans may control the Council, but Shepard remains our best hope.
But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
The Reapers are the bad guys, if you didn't pick up on that.
The Council will never trust
the Reapers are like giant machines that harvest the galaxy every few 100,000 years, and they wipe out all life and let it grow back again. So whenever humanity, well not humanity, but any civilization gets too big, the Reapers turn up and just wipe them all out. So obviously we're on the brink of that happening in Mass Effect. There's a lot of civilization, there's the humans, there's a range of different species all working together, living in space on various planets, and the Reapers are they're coming back to wipe people out.
Interesting.
But you are Commander Shepard, like I say, a decorated soldier who saved the galaxy once already, and you're gonna have to save it again. That's the way sequels work. You just
So they're running a loop of saving the universe.
Yeah. So this is our ship. This is the Normandy. This is Commander Shepard's ship. He's the commander, and these are all your crew, basically. So most of the game you spend controlling a ship like this one, choosing which planet to go to. You fly there. You talk to people. Maybe you shoot them in the face.
So is it open world, or is it like a set?
Searching up and down this
it's fairly open.
Haven't found any sign
you can fly to lots and lots of planets. A lot of them are quite barren, so a lot of them just like big empty deserts that you can drive around with very few things to do. And then certain planets have got a lot more, buildings and cities and stuff that you can kind of explore. It's not quite like Grand Theft Auto level. There's none of it's as big as that, but it's yeah, there's quite a lot of exploration you can do.
Cruiser is changing course. Now on intercept trajectory.
Can't be. The stealth systems are engaged. There's no way to get the ship to pass.
I've played this game a lot. I love this game. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Things are going bad already, Dean. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking bad for the crew.
Kinetic barriers down. Multiple hull breaches. Weapons offline. Somebody get that fire out.
So obviously this game is set in the future, and a lot of people who practice SEO or use SEO services are always thinking about the future, because I guess Google's constantly changing. What do you think the future of SEO kind of holds? Like, where do you see SEO going in the next few years?
Future SEO, it's difficult to predict because obviously it's changing a lot, and then in recent years it's sort of accelerated as well. It's becoming like a learning scheme, so it's what it's going to understand
just so they can find our frozen corpses.
Search intent, so not just the keywords but sort of why they're using this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of talk in the past about voice search being SEO. I don't see that really coming to fruition too much. There's a common place for voice search. I don't think that really serves much of
Get the hell out of here.
Local, quite huge in the future, so the local search, so an element of local search is the local map packs. So a lot of this is now obviously localised, and it's really important to optimise those local search as well. So the last 2 weeks alone, we've seen updates almost every single month, and Google do a really good job of telling you absolutely nothing about it. So it's sort of almost like a constant guessing game of optimised for that.
Yeah.
But in my experience today, I'd say that just adopting an SEO best practice approach to websites. So no matter what sort of Google throws you, your website's good enough to sort of come through and get read. That's what we do there.
Yeah.
The websites are technically sound, and obviously we now the news going and try and make sure the content is best matched by sort of periods.
So as you can see, things have gone very bad for the crew of the SSV Normandy. I'm
Are
heading.
You playing now, or is it
This is me playing. Yeah, I'm heading to the cockpit to try and save the pilot. As you can see, our ship is quite heavily damaged.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
Not looking great. So, and basically all my crew are dead, so a big part of this game is building a new crew to help you try and save the galaxy, and putting together a team. And I guess I'm interested, what do you think what is your squad? What are your tools that you use to create good SEO?
SEO squad goals. So every SEO needs a
Come on, Joker.
start with.
We have to get out of here.
Without data, SEO needs nothing. Optimizing the site. So GA is a must, and it's free to use. So anyone can get hold of GA.
The Normandy's dead. Just like us, we don't get the hell out of here.
Tracking tool as well. So we use SEO Monitor, gives us sort of daily reporting on that. So we do some good research. Well, we can use that tool. So the process is we take 2 or 3 minutes, find the target, and then we can sort of give a real time of the clients in stuff bad. That picked up for application stuff, especially when someone's doing a site migration, cultures alongside, go around, that map, so create a new website, you can then match all the old URLs to the new URLs. There's the problem with SEO, there's a ton of tools. And it's quite difficult to find the best ones. We're still, as a team, learning. We sort of do tool audits every year to see what's working, what's not working. and there's always new tools in the market for us to explore as well.
Yeah, I think it's that was all really interesting, and I was just thinking during that I really should have chosen a game with a lot less explosions, because I'm not sure how much of that people are going to hear, but it was really good. I mean, we're dead. That's what's just happened is
right. So we died.
Our character has died
during my speech. We died.
Yeah.
So do you restart again from the same point?
No,
or?
I think we'll just. Obviously I can't pause halfway through and listen back to it without messing up the video. So I'm going to hope that the audio came through on that okay. If not, I'll put together some written transcripts for people who maybe want to take some of that insight.
Get some subtitles for it.
Commander Shepard
exactly.
has been
That's what we
recovered. The Lazarus project will proceed as planned.
So what's interesting about this bit of the game is you're dead, but you're being brought back to life by a futuristic terrorist organisation known as Cerberus, who are very pro-human and anti-alien. They're a bit racist, basically. And I guess what I'm interested in from an SEO perspective is what do you do when a site is performing badly? If a site is dead from Google's perspective, what's your approach to bringing it back to life and getting it back in the rankings where it belongs?
So if the site's dead, so we normally do client that has no real organic value. We'll first do a technical SEO audit to find out if there's any technical problems with the site. That's where you start. That's where you lay your foundations. Once we do all those fixes, we know the site's in a good standpoint. We'll then look at keywords effectively. So what do we want the site to appear for? So we'll do a keyword gap analysis. We'll find out a keyword position analysis. So we'll do a position analysis first to find out what the site's currently ranking for. If it's ranking for nothing, we go to their data. We'll do a gap analysis. So we'll look at sort of competitors in the industry, find out what keywords they're ranking for, and sort of see how achievable they are for the current website. And we'll start sort of creating metadata, optimizing content using variants of those keywords to sort of get a head start. SEO, as you know, doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It's a lot of time, in fact. So if the domain authority is low, which I'm guessing would be for a new site, you'd have to start building that domain authority. So then you look into Offsite SEO. So you've got on-page SEO for the keywords, technical, and you've got Offsite, which is essentially building links to the site, building authority, building trust in if Google understands that you're an authority in that space and you're worthy of ranking.
Try to stay calm.
So still climbing. It's sort of like a never-ending loop as well. Building authority, building trust, but also optimizing the page for those sort of
Another dose. Now.
Yeah, I guess interesting because SEO's never really done. It's not something you tick off a checklist and you say that's us done forever.
Yeah, it's always evolving. There's always stuff to do as well. I mean, you can get the site done from a technical point of view, but there's always going to be content to create. There's always going to be more opportunities.
Yeah.
Wake up, Commander.
Oh, we're being woken up. Something's not right.
Shepard, do you hear?
Are we still captured?
Yeah, so our body's been recovered and brought back to life by this organisation, and the hospital that we're in is under attack. So we're going to have to break our way out, basically.
There's a pistol in the locker on the other side of the room. Hurry! Grab the pistol and armor from the locker. You don't have time to wait around, Shepard. Grab your weapon and armor.
Now.
This pistol.
Keep your head down,
You have to find ammo. Wow.
So you don't fully. Let me just see if I can turn down the music and sound, because yeah, that might help us.
Turn that right now.
There we go. We can probably hear each other on there. That's nice, isn't it?
Beautiful.
So yeah, you do find ammo, but they call it thermal clips because basically all of the guns actually fire tiny micro futuristic pellets, but they give off a lot of heat, so you need these thermal clips to be able to basically not have the gun blow up in your hand.
Okay.
So you got some cover mechanics. Oh, I'm being shot.
There you go. Easy work. The enemies get harder. I guess they get harder.
They do. This is not only is this a tutorial, I left it on casual because I was a bit worried about playing and talking to you at the same time and making sure that I
Took the easy way out.
yeah, exactly. So I can do a bit of
It's like Gears of War, isn't it?
it is a bit like Gears of War, yeah, in terms of shooting mechanics.
Yeah, hiding, popping out, shooting.
Yeah, no chainsaws though.
No chainsaws. Slightly less blood.
Nice work, Shepard.
Okay. I've played this game a lot, but I've only ever played it on consoles, so it's interesting playing with the keyboard and mouse for the first time.
Oh, you're playing keyboard mouse, are you?
Yep. Give it a
Okay,
try.
interesting. Yeah, I can't get my head around the keyboard and mouse playing games. I'm terrible at it.
Oh, you're console purist. You.
Oh, PS4.
More reinforcements heading your way. Here come the mechs.
I'm switching to a grenade launcher. This is very much a.
They've seen it.
Smash it.
Take the elevator down.
So, are you looking at the keys when you're playing the game, or?
Sometimes, so I can do the walking and the shooting is fine, but there's a couple of things on this in the menu that I.
Get to the door. Run.
So is it the arrow keys to move, or are you using like?
It's WASD to move, which is kind of a classic PC maneuver.
Click to shoot, yeah.
It's actually space is action, and I'm using the mouse to right mouse to zoom and left mouse to shoot. Don't need to go in there. Let's go this way.
So can you buy new weapons? Yeah, so you can like upgrade.
Yeah, so you find a lot of weapons, and yeah, I kind of unlock them. Oh, here's someone.
So you aware of what's happening here?
Yeah,
He sort of just turned around and accepted it.
he wasn't very well prepared, was he?
Nice trip.
Here's someone else.
Drop. On target.
He's got no sort of game moves, but standing up is taking hit.
So the other thing you do, which I don't know if you've noticed yet, is you have this conversation wheel, and the left-hand side asks more investigative questions, and the right-hand side moves towards the end of the conversation. But also you have the option of going lower, usually means you're being kind of more of an asshole or more of a douchebag, whereas further up is you're being a bit nicer. So I'm just gonna...
Look, pal.
So, will the game change based on that or not?
I think, yeah, you do get options basically, whether you're the sort of person who acts bad but for good reasons, which is known as kind of renegade, or if you're like a totally pure, you're basically a saint, you always do the right thing. You get different options in the story. So yeah, there's some good payoff for some of those moments.
So is every game different? Or is it always end up in the same sort of place? Yeah.
So the first one, you're basically trying to save save people from the Reapers, and you fight in this place called the Citadel, which is a big, basically like a giant city where all the aliens live together. In this one, you're going on a suicide mission to uncharted space to try and rescue some humans that have been kidnapped. So that's a bit different. And then the third one is just like all-out war. The Reapers turn up, they're destroying Earth.
They're not happy.
Yeah, they're not. Nobody's happy in the third one. They just want saving.
So, was this released on like PS2, Xbox 360, or is it?
It was 360 originally. Yeah. So the guy I'm fighting with has some like Jedi Force powers, which means he can throw people around, which is pretty useful.
Ready to get the hell off this station?
What's the quickest way to those shuttles?
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if we...
Check. Anyone on this frequency?
What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions about SEO today? Do you think there's anything that people maybe misunderstand about the role of SEO in web dev
the
today?
big misconception for me is time. Most people think it happens overnight still, and it's quite difficult to stress the timing involved with SEO. So clients can obviously, if we get a new client in, they may expect results within a day, a week, 2 weeks. SEO is a long game. Like we can get small quick wins, which which we can get within a couple of days. The bigger wins come after months, maybe even years of hard work. When you stop SEO as well, you pretty much think like a victim, so you need to always be sort of on top of it as well. So with clients, there's no use sort of coming to us, doing a few months, stopping, coming back a few months later and doing a bit more work. We need to have like a steady stream of SEO sort of output. Almost forever. Every company can benefit from SEO. In some form, whether it's a little bit of SEO or you do loads of work on the side, having something is a lot better than having nothing and relying on sort of just having paid media and sort of word of mouth. So yeah, absolutely, time is the biggest misconception for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think that you kind of mentioned it there, I guess, like the risk of not doing SEO seems quite great for a lot of people. You know, if your business thrives on exposure, essentially, you need people to actually visit the site in order to convert and make money. The risk of not having a good SEO strategy seems huge.
Absolutely. You can't just rely on other channels. You'll find that organic is one of the biggest channels for most websites, regardless of if they've done SEO or not. They just don't realise they're doing it. So a lot of people optimise their sites by default. So because they're focusing their content around the intent of the user and UX, they actually automatically start ranking for these keywords without even knowing. But when you actually understand sort of what you're doing and get a strategy behind it, you can see much better results. So people, everyone's ranking for something, but we need to ensure that we focus all of our energy on the converting keywords and the keywords you want to rank for, so get a much better result.
Right, Shepard. We need to find Miranda. We can't leave her behind.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector. There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't
drop. Are we out now? Have we escaped or still?
We've reached server room B and we've met this guy Wilson, and he's saying we shouldn't go and save Miranda, who's the woman who helped bring us back to life.
If Miranda's dead, there's nothing we can do. We have to save our own asses right now.
But you're gonna leave her behind.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, here comes some more mechs. Surprise, surprise. So I have all these abilities.
Can you get grenades or not?
Yeah, I've got a grenade launcher. I could use that.
Wow, yeah, just smash with that.
I think it wants me to use overload to clear these boxes. So let me just do that first. There we go. And then I'll switch to the grenade launcher if I can.
That's it. Let's get.
Oh, they're all dead.
Okay, we took them down. But this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time.
So how often does Google,
he's expecting a shot in the back.
I guess, make things difficult for you? How often does Google change their algorithm in terms of the meaningful impacts that you see on what people see in the search results?
Officially, they'll say they're changing it. Well, it used to be on like a yearly 6-month basis, but in the last, since I've been doing SEO, like 3-4 years now, in the last 2 years, it's almost been every couple of months. But they're changing every day. They're making changes to the algorithm every single day, and they'll sort of let us know about it every couple of months. They call it something weird, like Valentine's Day update or something like that, and they'll just say, by the way, guys, there's absolutely nothing you can do. We've done an update. If your website's optimised for best practice, you'll be absolutely fine. They don't actually release the sort of parameters to what they've done. So then we rely on forums within the SEO community to find out what exactly sort of has happened here. So then there'll be sort of talk amongst the community. We'll start speaking to people, find out what they're seeing, compare their results with our results, and we'll get an idea as to what sort of has happened. Usually it's sort of hits as well. So like, if the algorithm is about heat, which is all about your authority and trust, usually like healthcare and financial industries will be hit the hardest. So if you're not compliant, you'll see sort of damaging SEO to your website. It is difficult to understand what they're doing, but luckily we have got a good community of SEOs about, and someone will know. And as soon as that sort of word spreads, we'll start getting to work and try and fix whatever the issue is. But with most of our websites, we're not really concerned with the updates. It's nice to know what they've done, but we obviously optimise with a best practice approach anyway. We're not sort of worried about any potential SEO penalties or anything like that. It's just more understanding what's happened so we can sort of use that as more opportunity rather than sort of fixing problems.
I've come the wrong way. Well, I mean, there's things I could explore here. There's laptops I could read, things I could hack, more collectibles I could find. Because I'm just blowing through this for you, I'll rush towards the next
it. That's my approach to gaming. I'll just smash through it.
You're definitely you're not a completionist. You just rush to the end.
Yeah, I've only ever completed 2 games in my life.
Wow. What are the 2 games?
It was The Last of Us, which was the best, I think, the best game I've ever played. And recently, Journey.
I love Journey.
It took about a couple hours. It was quite a nice game.
Man?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm more of a multiplayer game. So there's Call of Duty, Fortnite.
Would get the better of you.
I find it more to sort of get into a game and finish it from start to end.
Getting everything out in the open. Is there anything else you want to ask?
Did you like Journey?
I've had enough of this station.
Pardon?
Did you enjoy Journey?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was weird.
Come on.
It doesn't really tell you what's happening, does it?
Yeah, I really like it. I find it really relaxing to play through Journey.
Yeah, the graphics are great as well. And it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like an emotional journey as well, because you meet people along the way, don't you? So
yeah, I love
at the end of the game, well, no spoilers, turn off now, I don't want spoilers for the game, but at the end of the game you can see a list of players you can pick the game with, quite a nice touch.
Yeah.
And some players are a lot better than others, as you probably know. So
some people are helpful and some people just like jumping around.
Yeah, do you remember the level where you're sort of like underwater, where it's quite dark?
Yeah,
that?
like in the caves, and there's like the jellyfish things.
Yeah, that was quite difficult, and the guy I was playing with at that time had no idea what was going on. Ages to get through level. So yeah, I enjoyed that game just for those elements too.
My favourite bit is the bit where you're kind of like surfing on the sand going downhill. It's great fun.
What I didn't understand about the game either was playing a little tail.
Yeah.
Does that shrink?
It gets longer the more of the upgrades you find, and the longer it is, the higher you can, or the longer you can jump.
Okay,
interesting. Waiting for you in the other room.
And you can't die, can you, on the game either? Or can you die?
I don't think you can. There is, you can get your scarf shredded by those monsters and stuff, which makes it really difficult. And then it can get really difficult to progress if you don't have enough to do some of the jumps easily.
That's what I found. I was constantly tapping, trying to jump.
What do you make of Mass Effect 2 so far? You think you might grab a copy of this and play it through?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know, it's my cup of tea. Mainly sort of prehistoric graphics. If there's a newer version, I might dabble.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it will be a next-gen version.
They did release a new one actually not that long ago called Mass Effect Andromeda. It wasn't as well received. Mass Effect 2 is my favourite in the series.
Yes, is it quite a long game? Or is it relatively game?
You could probably blast through it in not too long. But if you want to do everything, if you want to explore all the planets and do everything, it'll take a long time.
Cut to the chase.
I quite like it that the fact it's third person. That helps.
Yeah.
Third person games.
You won't get a sense of it from this video, but one of the things I really like about it is the cast of characters that you put together on this crew, because you're basically going on a mission which is so dangerous that just like nobody wants to do it. So you've got to find like basically the biggest badasses in the galaxy, like all these different aliens and people with different skill sets, and they're all just really great characters that you kind of get to know. And one of the core mechanics is you have to.
What you say is true.
Well, you don't have to, but if you tackle that last mission without building up enough trust in your team, you could fail, or a lot of them will die on the way.
Really?
So the more you build trust with them by talking to them and doing their like side missions, the more likely you are to succeed at the end, which is really fun.
Sounds a lot like SEO. The more trust you build, the most likely you are to succeed.
Oh, it's almost like I planned it. I didn't.
Is this a volunteer job, or am I being volunteered?
You always have a choice, Shepard. If you don't find the evidence we're both looking for, we can part ways.
It's very X-Men vibes right now I'm getting from this.
Yeah, this guy's the elusive man. He's the head of the terrorist organization known as Cerberus. He's the one who brought you back to life. Because basically humans are going missing and they don't think anyone else is looking into it enough. So it's a bit politically ambiguous, you know, like there's Cerberus are kind of bad dudes, but also they do have some good qualities, and you can kind of choose to side with them or to side with the aliens, depending on in certain situations anyway. I do not remember what I'm doing next, but let's go and look through here. I'll spend squad points on bonuses before leaving for your mission. Let's have a look at that then. So, standard RPG mechanics, I guess, is that you can spend money on things.
Right. Question. Paragon Renegade. Explain that to me, please. What is that?
So the thing I was talking to you about earlier when you're choosing those dialogue options, Paragon is when you're a complete goody two-shoes. You're always doing the right thing by the book. And Renegade is when you're maybe a bit of a maverick, maybe you're doing things where you think the ends justify the means. So maybe you're torturing people, or you're talking down to them, threatening them, those sorts of things.
And do you normally change it up, or do you always try and be one of these?
I usually like to try and play it straight, as in like think about what I would do in that situation if it was me. But it's a lot of fun to choose the Renegade options. Like some of the options you get later in the game. Like there are people who try and talk to you, and you just, if you're a Renegade enough, you could just punch them in the face and walk away.
Do you build more trust by being a Renegade?
Different characters respond to it in different ways, and you get different outcomes of certain scenarios.
Do you have any orders?
So sometimes you get to a point where
just keep your
you have to basically be diplomatic and negotiate something between two warring gangs, for example. And certain people respond well to being threatened, other people don't. And it really depends on what options you have available to you based on how you've played the game so far. So we'll just play a little bit more. I guess before we wrap up, it would be good to get any last thoughts from you about quick wins, or Dean's hot SEO tips. Like, what are the things people should really be looking into if they're looking to either get into SEO in a way they haven't done previously, or if they're looking to improve their current SEO?
Quick wins for me, depending on how comfortable you are with technical SEO, would be to brush up knowledge in technical SEO, really, to understand the mechanics of your website, find out what's good, what's bad, what's holding you back, what opportunities you have with your current build. So they're your sort of quick technical fixes. Hopefully you have a great development team who can do it all for you. That always helps. That helps us too. Other than the technical elements, comparator analysis is key. So if you're not quite sure where to start or what to optimise your website for, look at what your competitors are doing. They're ranking well for the keywords you want to rank for. Find out why. So you can use tools like SEMrush. You get free trials for SEMrush, where you can do a sort of position analysis on your competitors. So you can type in there and find out all of the keywords you're ranking for and which pages you're ranking for them. Then you can find out what SEO, whether their content is on point. So I'd start with just looking at competitors, see what they're doing, and try and replicate some of that as well onto your website as well. Get comfortable with GA as well. GA provides us with huge insights. Using custom filters and whatnot, you can get even more insights on GA. So the core three would be to brush up your skills in GA to find out how your website's performing. Two would be to brush up on your technical skills, find out what's going on your time, why, if there's any technical issues, if there's any technical opportunities, etc. And then further, if you look at competitors, not quite sure where to start, look at those guys, see what they're doing, try and replicate some of that. If you get success, great, continue. And after you get an idea of what you're doing, you can then sort of create your own strategy going forward to beat those guys. At the end of the day, you don't want to be below your competitors, you want to be above them. So take what they're doing to start with and then elevate and improve constantly. And just maintain as well. So constantly work on an SEO strategy. It's a long game. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take months, if not years, to get your site into a really good, strong position.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. I've been Adam Burt. This has been Dean Dowsett. Thanks for joining me, Dean.
No problem,
thanks for the insight. I apologise for playing a very loud video game over all your best and most salient points. And this has been Mass Effect 2. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, just wave.
Do we continue waving for minutes?